Okay, Iliad. The Iliad is an epic poem attributed to the ancient Greek writer Homer. This poem explores the themes of pride, honor, and human condition, and is considered one of the greatest epic of the ancient Greek literature. It is one of the oldest extent of work still of literature, still widely read by modern audience. And we know that these books are divided into 20, this epic poem is divided into 24 books. Homer's The Iliad is taken from the story of the war of Greeks, story of the war with Greeks and Trojans for the reason of escaping Helen with Paris. So that means this is the War of Troy is the background of the epic. We know that the Iliad deals with the events of the Trojan War that took place in the last few months of the 10th year of that war. And these were with the events of the Trojan. With the events of the Trojan War that took place in the last 9th year of that 10th year war. Okay, and although the epic vividly narrates the ongoing war between the Achaeans and the Trojans, we know that who is Achaeans? The people of Greece are called Achaeans. Achaeans and the people of Troy are called Trojans. And this epic vividly narrates ongoing war between the Achaeans and the Trojans. As we know that the whole poem is divided into 24 books and consists 15,000 lines. In the first book, Achilles withdraws himself from the war because of his fight with Agamemnon. And the first 10 books narrate how Greeks and how helpless and vulnerable are the Greek soldiers without Achilles and how they suffer from the defeat. Then the turning point comes when Achilles' beloved friend Achilles' beloved friend Patroclus was killed by Hector. And one stage of battle, we can see that the Trojans reached the Greek ships and Greeks were in the serious trouble. This brings the turning point. The death of his beloved friend Patroclus' death of Achilles' beloved friend Patroclus in the hands of Hector made him mad with fury, and his anger shifted from Agamemnon to Hector, and he decided to avenge Patroclus. Anyhow, the books that follows Patroclus's killing discuss Achilles' anger or fury against Hector and how he took revenge. And thus the subject of Iliad revolves around the Achilles' anger. Now let's go to the character of this epic. Okay. First, we know about the Achaeans supporter human character. Who were the Achaean supporters? Number 1, Achilles. 2, Agamemnon. 3, Menelaus. 4, Zeus. 5, Nestor. And 6, Calchas. And we know about 2 characters is Briseis and Chryseis. Okay, they are all the Achaeans supporter. Achilles. Who was Achilles? Achilles was a great warrior. Achilles is the protagonist of the Iliad and the Achilles is the protagonist of the Iliad, and the story centers on his rage and anger against Agamemnon. Achilles was the son of Thetis and son of sea nymph or goddess of the sea named Thetis and Peleus. He was the greatest warrior of the Greek army, and he is angry with Agamemnon and withdraws from the fighting, leaving the Greeks without their best fighter. Okay. And Achilles is by far the greatest warrior of the Trojan War. We know that. Achilles' mother Thetis tells him that he has a choice of 2 fates. Either he can die a young and glorious death at Troy. Okay? And Achilles' best friend Patroclus' death in the hands of Hector made Achilles mad with fury, as we know before. Okay, the next character is the next character is Agamemnon, king of the Mycenae and leader of the Achaeans army. He was the general of the Achaeans army. Okay, and he was the son of Atreus and brother of Menelaus. Menelaus was the king of Sparta. Okay, his leader, he quarrels with Achilles, and more than once he suggests the Achaeans should sail for home in defeat. Agamemnon was the leader of the expedition against Troy. He was the brother of Menelaus. He takes the captive woman Briseis from Achilles as compensation for giving up Chryseis, the daughter of the priest of Apollo. Okay. Next, the character is Patroclus. Patroclus Achilles' constant companion and brother in arms. Patroclus is known for his compensation and good sense. When the Trojans begin to attack the Achaean ships, Patroclus puts on Achilles' armor and fights the Trojans in the name of in Achilles' place. He kills many men, but is ultimately slain by Hector. He was killed by Hector. Okay. Menelaus. We know that Menelaus was the brother of Agamemnon and husband of Helen. Okay, he was king of Sparta, previously married to Helen, who was abducted by Paris to begin the war. Odysseus, Achaean leader of the forces from Ithaca. Odysseus was the king of Ithaca, and he was the beloved of the goddess Athena. Odysseus is known for his cunning and his persuasive language. He was the king of Ithaca, as you know that. Okay, and beloved of Athena. Chryseis, no. Calchas was the prophet of Athens. He was the fortune teller, and he was the well-wisher of Jews. He was the well-wisher of Athens and Jews. Okay, Nestor, he was the oldest Achaean fighter. He was known for his advanced age and wise advice. Okay, all are the main character of this epic Iliad. Those are human character. Now, let us know about the Achaean supporter gods and goddesses. Who were the Achaean supporters, gods and goddesses? Okay. Gods, goddesses. Hera. Number 2, Athena. Hephaestus. Thetis, Poseidon. Okay. Hera was the wife of Zeus and queen of all gods and goddesses, and she was the supporter of Achaeans. Hera, Athena was the god of knowledge, wisdom, and defense, and she was the beloved of Odysseus. Okay, Hephaestus, god of fire, sculpture, metalworking, and he used to make all armors and weapons for the Olympians or for the all deities or for all the gods and goddesses. He used to make all weapons. Okay. Thetis. We know that Thetis was the mother of Achilles, and she was the goddess of sea or sea nymph. She was devoted mother of Achilles. Okay, Poseidon. Poseidon he was the god of sea. And he had an affair with Medusa. Poseidon helped, we can see that in this epic that Poseidon helped Achilles in the war. Okay? Those are the Achaean supporter gods and goddesses: Hera, Athena, Hephaestus, Thetis, and Poseidon. Hera was the wife of Zeus and the mother of Aphrodite, and she was the Achaean supporter. Okay. Now, Trojan's supporter human character. Trojan's supporter's human character was. Trojan's supporters human characters were: number 1, Hector, Priam, Hecuba, Paris, Helen, Aeneas. Okay. Andromache. Andromache. Okay. Hector. Hector, the eldest prince of Troy and heir to the throne. Hector was the son of King Priam, and he was the prince of Troy, eldest prince of Troy, and he was the brother of Paris. Hector is a brave warrior and a thoughtful leader. He is also a devoted husband and a father, and is very concerned for the survival of Troy. Under his leadership, the Trojans pushed the Achaeans back to their ships. After Hector kills Patroclus, Achilles kills Hector for revenge. Okay, Hector was the great leader of the Trojan army. Priam was the, we know that Priam was the father of Hector and Paris. He was the king of Troy. Okay, Hecuba was the wife of Priam and mother of Hector and Paris. Wife of Priam and mother of Hector and Paris. Okay, now Paris was the main culprit or main negative character in this epic, and he was the younger brother of Hector, and he kidnapped Helen from Greece to Troy. And Paris was a womanizer and coward. Okay, he was known for his cowardice. Okay, Helen was the queen of. Helen was the wife of Menelaus. Menelaus was the king of Sparta, and she was the queen of Sparta, and Menelaus was the younger brother of Agamemnon. Okay, and Helen was the most beautiful lady in Greece. Okay, Aeneas was the greatest fighter of the Trojan army. Okay, and he was the son of Aphrodite. Andromache was the wife of Hector. Andromache was another important character. Okay. Okay, Hector's wife and the mother of Astyanax. Astyanax was the son of Andromache and Hector. She is known as a tragic figure lamenting the sufferings and death. Okay, Andromache was the wife of Hector and the mother of Astyanax. She was the one of important character in this epic. Why isn't it working? Okay. Briseis and Chryseis. Maybe we skipped two characters named Briseis and Chryseis. Okay, Briseis and Chryseis are two sisters and two daughters of the Chryseis. Chryseis was the priest of god Apollo. Briseis and Chryseis both are the daughter of Chryseis, and Chryseis was the priest of Apollo, and Briseis was the domestic supporter or concubine of Achilles, and Chryseis was the domestic supporter and concubine of Agamemnon.